Illinois State, the Redbirds. Presbyterian, the Blue Hose. For Illinois State, it is Dalton Banks, Jordan Davis, Johnny Kinziger, Jack Doherty, and Chase Walker. Their first 5 out on the court, Jennifer.
Well, they have outstanding sophomores, but we'll just talk about one, Johnny Kinziger. He's someone that can light it up. All MVC freshman team last year, 90% from the free throw line, and he's averaging 14 points per game.
And a look at the starting 5 for Presbyterian. When they take the court, they're going to look like this. You saw Illinois State is in the white uniforms, Presbyterian in the road blues. Iverson King is number 0. Kobe Stewart's number 3. Corey Mincy, another guard, is number 4. Jamari Harvey, a guard, is number 10. And Caleb Scott, their de facto big, a forward, is number 30.
And we're going to highlight something that is becoming less of a trend, but Kobe Stewart averaging 15 points per game. He's been at PC all 5 years. He said he came to the program for the family environment.
And they're lucky to have him. They're happy to have him. A good fit for both the man and the program as well. Illinois State, 19-14 on the season, 10-10 in the Missouri Valley Conference. So the Redbirds looking to build on a fantastic regular season, and the Missouri Valley Conference portion of the season, that was pretty good as well at even 500. Presbyterian, 14-18 on the regular season. They're part of the Big South. They went 7-9 in that league, but looking to end the 2024-2025 campaign on a high note with a victory or maybe 2 or maybe 3 here in Daytona Beach.
Maybe 4, maybe 5.
Well, I was going to say, because they would only have to win 3 because of the way the bracket shakes out. It's interesting. There's 11 teams here. 3 games have already been played. The winner of this game jumps to the semifinals on Tuesday. So the winner here will play the winner of tomorrow's ball game between UIW and Jacksonville.
But Hector, they're going to keep going. They're going to go to the Globetrotters. They're going to take the show on the road if they win this tournament.
And then should they win there on March 25th, the title game is on March 26th right here at the Ocean Center. A stone's throw away from what many call the most famous beach in the world, Daytona Beach. Illinois State and Presbyterian ready to get us going with our 4th game of the day. UIW, we talked about their win and how they would meet the winner of this game, potentially, if they can beat Jacksonville. They beat Manhattan 92-85 in today's first game. Army beat Elon 83-78 in game number 2. Queens knocking off Northern Arizona 85-78 in a game we just saw. Here we go, ready to tip it up. Ball is up, and we are underway between Presbyterian and Illinois State. It is the Blue Hose who get the ball first. Number 4 is Corey Mincy, a guard, just a sophomore out of East Point, Georgia. Now at the top of the key, it's Jamari Harvey. He's number 10. Looking to get it inside. Number 30 is Caleb Scott from Raleigh, North Carolina. Kicks it out, trying to get it to Stewart. Kobe gives it up, though, to Iverson King. Shot clock's at 1. He lets it go, beats the buzzer, does not go in. But Presbyterian gets the ball back. A 3 for Jamari Harvey is off. Illinois State with its first turn.
And I'm looking forward to looking at the matchup between Walker and Scott down low in the paint.
This is Dalton Banks, and the best player for Illinois State, fittingly perhaps, gets the first bucket of the ball game.
And he gets it the way he likes it, down in the block. Loves posting up smaller guards.
Pressure by either Johnny Kinziger. He knocks it out of bounds. It remains, though, Presbyterian ball. Coming over to inbound is Kobe Stewart, senior out of Augusta, Georgia. Corey Mincy now. Watched by Banks. Mincy from the screen, pulls up. It's short. Jordan Davis clears. If you're a basketball fan and you're looking at Jordan Davis and he looks familiar, you're like, I've seen that guy before. He is the twin brother of NBA player Johnny Davis, former standout at Wisconsin. Jordan out of La Crosse in the state of Wisconsin.
And he's able to really be a defensive stopper for the Redbirds.
Banks double teamed. You can see Presbyterian paying plenty of attention to him early. Three-pointer from the wing is off by Johnny Kinzinger. Banks, a second shot, that one off the rim. Cleared by Kobe Stewart. Jamari Harvey now down low on the block. Try to get it to Kobe Stewart. Davis. Hounded by Corey Mincy. That one rolls off for Davis. Here's Mincy back the other way. Stewart inside at Scott. Caleb looking to work on Chase Walker. Turns, Walker knocks it away. Scott gets it back, jump hook, no.
And if you give him opportunities like that, sooner or later he's gonna knock him down.
Jumper, Jordan Davis, nuh-uh. Back comes Kobe Stewart. 2.5 gone, a little bit more than that between Presbyterian and Illinois State. Presbyterian in the dark uni. Stewart pulls up, left-handed jumper, rolls off. Dalton Banks. Number 0 is Jack Doherty. Doherty now on the lane. Illinois State, the first 2 buckets of this ball game, and an early 4-0 lead.
And Doherty just did a great job of just ripping, putting his head down, taking it to the basket.
On the wing in front of us is Jamari Harvey, Fayetteville, North Carolina native. They work it around Kinzinger with the steal. Davis, Kinzinger, back to Davis, knocked away, but to Kinzinger, and a 6-0 lead early for the Redbirds.
And that was a great 2-on-1 transition offense for the Redbirds.
Mincy, watch there by Banks. Top of the key, the big man Caleb Scott. Turning, jump hook, no. And the Blue Hose still looking for that first bucket. Davis, Banks, left-handed dribble, in the lane, turning, working, left-handed bucket is good. 8-0, 16:04 encountering remaining in the first half.
Banks is just too strong down low against those other guards for the Blue Hose.
Dalton Banks averaging 10.2 points per game. Already with a couple of buckets. 4 points early. Kinzinger clears.
Redbirds have been pushing tempo, now finding Walker down in the paint.
Slips out of his hands. And with that, our first timeout. We're going to take it with them. Strong start for Illinois State. An early 8-0 lead on Presbyterian. We're back with continuing coverage of the 2025 Purple CBI. Answers, Jennifer, they're down 8-0, have yet to get a bucket. We've played 4 minutes, 25 seconds in this ballgame already.
And the Blue Hose have gotten shots in the positions where they want. They've gotten Scott down low in the paint. He just has not been able to finish. And then on the other side, the Redbirds have been pushing the tempo, and they've been able to capitalize on most of their shots, going 4 for 8 from the field.
Kobe Stewart inbounds to a newly inserted Badir Petaway. Called Deere in off the bench. He's a junior guard from Newport News, Virginia. Has the ball now. Gets a screen from Jalen Peterson, who's also into the ball game for the first time. Here's Kobe Stewart. Step back. That left-handed jumper is short. Kinzinger clears. Dalton Banks up ahead. They were trying to get it to Caden Bozer.
I think coach can live with that turnover as they're trying to be aggressive on the other side. And finally, Blue Hose gets on the board.
Kobe Stewart gets the first 2, and excuse me, that's Bozier, Caden Bozier, number 33 for Illinois State. Banks. Watched by Petaway. Number 22 is Ty Pence. He's into the ballgame for Illinois State. 33, there's Bozier. Kinzinger. Back to Pence. They swing it. Look for Davis. Is off. Between his legs is Carl Parrish III. Also a reserve, also getting some early action. At jumper, little bit of a one-handed floater. Did not go.
And similar to our other games prior, no fouls have been called yet in this matchup.
On the run, it's Tristan Wilson. Left-hander good over Jordan Davis. And after giving up the first 8 points, Presbyterian scored the last 4. 8-4 our score here with 13:38 remaining in the first half. Davis working inside. Nice feed to Banks, who knows how to finish.
That was just a great cut by Davis. And to Banks for the layup.
Kaudir Petaway. Up top, it's Jalen Peterson. Banks almost able to swipe that one away. Petaway instead between his legs a couple of times. He lets it fly. Step back, good.
And that's going to be
Kaudir Petaway. Go ahead, Jennifer.
That's going to be tough to guard, even though with the hand in his face, he's able to knock it down.
10-7, what was an 8-point deficit early. Presbyterians cut down to 3 and a chance to slim it even more. Peterson, long 2 steps and a finish on the other end. Illinois State wants to talk. 10-9, it was 8-0 moments ago. It's a short timeout.
And that's a great answer by the Blue Hosts, who had an 8-0 start to the game, but have now been able to go 9 straight points, 3 of their last, and really put the pressure on the Redbirds.
Well, sports are better on the big screen. Head to your preferred device app store to dining. So the Redbirds inbounding here. It's Johnny Kinzinger, sophomore guard from De Pere, Wisconsin. Watched at the top of the key by Carl Parrish III. Inside, Landon Wolf. His pass finds Ty Pence. Turnaround hook, no, but they're going to get a foul. Called Tristan Wilson on the body.
Ty Pence, sophomore out of St. Joseph's, Illinois. To build his size, he really is the catalyst for the team.
Yeah, Illinois State by getting those first 8 points. Since then, though, it's been the Blue Hose who've made this a contest. And with the missed free throw still down by just the 1 point. Dalton Banks leads Illinois State with 6, but he is on the bench now. So an opportunity here for the Blue Hose to potentially get even closer, if not take the lead. Pence is the second free throw. That's his first point of the game. A reserve for the Redbirds, who averages just under 7 points per game at 6.8. Jalen Peterson looking to go to work on Chase Walker. They're going to get Walker for the foul.
A little bit too much contact there.
Kaudir Petaway will inbound underneath his basket. Carl Parrish III. He's got Wilson up top. Kinzinger knocked it away. Into the hands of Landon Wolf. Here's Kinzinger. Wolf thought about it. Kinzinger thought about it as well. Left-handed dribble. Wolf, he will take it. Short. Rebound by Pence. Wolf, Kinzinger, inside. Chase Walker. Couple of up fakes, and he gets it to go on Jalen Peterson.
And Walker's story is so remarkable. At sophomore year in high school, he was 400 pounds. He has now worked with the athletic trainer, or strength and conditioning coach, I should say, and the nutritionist at Illinois State, and now has dropped down to 270.
After his first bucket, Petaway answering with a 3 of his own. Petaway's got 6 early, both coming on 3-pointers. Kinzinger double teamed, forcing the turnover. Houston Jones is number 5 for Presbyterian. Parrish the third back rim. Landon Wolf clears. Kinzinger only goes 5'11", plays a lot bigger than that though. From the wing, the three-pointer, no for Poindexter. Just came into the ball game.
Would have loved to see the Redbirds run a execute play on the other side.
Parrish the third getting into the act. That's his first 2 points. And Presbyterian has its first lead at 14-13 with 10.5 to go. The Blue Hose set for a hockey change at next dead ball. I believe next dead ball will also be a media timeout. It's been a while because it's supposed to come at the 12.5-minute mark or under. We're now at 10:17 and counting. There's the dead ball, and we'll see if I'm right. I am. Media timeout coming. Presbyterian taking a 14-13 lead on Illinois State. Back at the Ocean Center, continuing coverage of the purple CBI right here on Flow Sports. Several players to watch here on both squads. Who you going to have your eye on, Jennifer?
And we can start off with Presbyterian, Kobe Stewart. Starting off with him, again, 15 points per game is someone that he is being able to impact. Spent all 5 years at PC. Caleb Scott, transfer from Georgia State. He's had a slow start in the paint so far with a tough Walker going up against him. And lastly, we have Iverson King. He's the all-freshman Big South on team, and he's grown a lot of the season. At this point in the March, you're not a freshman anymore. If you're playing deep into March at this point, you're expected to understand the plays, understand the defensive rotations. And then switching over gears to the Redbirds, we can't talk enough about Johnny Kinzinger and Chase Walker. They're two sophomores that have made an impact for them. And then lastly, heady player Poindexter can make the open three, longest tenure player, which is 3 years. But Dalton Banks as well, though, really, I mean, he can post up smaller guards. He's a graduate student. He just has so much knowledge on the court.
And those players to watch already doing some things here in the first 10 minutes of this ball game. Both teams off to pretty good starts after Illinois State got out to an 8-0 lead. Presbyterian has battled back, and they've taken a 14-13 advantage. Dalton Banks back into the ball game. Handling, that's Chase Walker, top of the key. Left wing, it's Landon Wolf. There's Malachi Poindexter. Right-handed dribble. Followed by Jamari Harvey. Inside to Walker. Turns and face, now makes his move. Using that strength, up and under, give him two more and give Illinois State back the lead.
He did a great job even creating the physical contact, but then using the basket to shield off Scott and be able to go up and under.
Corey Minchie to Caleb Scott. This is Iverson King. He's into the ball game for Presbyterian. Minchie stops and pops and hits.
And Minchie, that's exactly what he wants to do, is get to his spot, that 15-footer, rise above.
Seesaw action continues now as Presbyterian reclaims the lead. It's Banks now between his legs. Ty Pence gets it back. There's Poindexter, and again to Walker. Same song, verse 2. Did this on the previous possession. Working, nice move. This time lefty. Went righty the other time. Left-handed finish for Chase Walker.
His size doesn't indicate his ability to have light on his feet, his pivot foot, his ability to really just play with any defender that comes his way.
He's got 6, along with Dalton Banks. That leads the Redbirds. Offensive foul on Presbyterian.
And you can see that Scott's frustration on the offensive side is starting to show through with that charge.
They're going to get Caleb. That is his first, I believe. Because it's an offensive foul, it's not a team foul. Presbyterian has no team fouls in that regard. Actually, as I'm looking here, I believe they have the one team foul. Illinois State with the one team foul. It's Walker who's been whistled thus far for them. Ty Pence bringing it up. He's watched by Kobe Stewart. Left-handed dribble. Out to Jack Doherty, back into the ball game. Banks top of the key, shadowed by Corey Mincy. Here's Pence off the screen. Right-handed dribble, shot clock's at 3. Fadeaway for Pence is good. Pretty move, better result, 19-16.
And we talk about Pence again. He's able to be a point guard, be able to get down the paint, make quick move, turn over, and hit a jumper.
Iverson King in front of us, another offensive foul.
That's back-to-back fouls for Scott now. 2 fouls. You got to assume that he's going to be headed to the bench.
Stoppage in play. We'll be back after this commercial break. About 12 minutes, a little bit more than that. Keys to the game as we look at Presbyterian, Jennifer. What do you have as important for them in order to get the W today?
Well, defense leads, so really honing in on their defense, rebounding, making sure that they're controlling the boards, and then playing through the paint. So making sure that Illinois State is making sure Walker touches it and then able to go back out. For Presbyterian, transition defense, getting back, they're going to look again. We saw it in the first half already. The Redbirds are trying to push the pace, defending the three-pointer, and then defensive rebounding.
And speaking of Illinois State, a shout out to their awesome SID. Bill Salier's been fantastic to work with in leading up to the tournament. I incorrectly corrected my first pronunciation of Coden Bozer. It is Caden Bozer, not Bozier. This often happens with the head. This often happens with the hamster in the head. He falls down. It is Bozer, not Bozier. So apologies to Caden's family, Caden's friends, if you're watching. Caden Bozer, a big part of this Illinois State ball club, as Dalton Banks has it for the Redbirds. His team up by 3. That one knocked away, batted away, and it's Corey Mincy who comes back the other way for Presbyterian. Watched by Banks, gets a screen from Peterson. In the corner there, it's Kobe Stewart. He'll stop and pop and hit. Kobe Stewart, nice looking jumper. Back to a 1-point game.
And he continues to make tough shots. That's good defense, but better offense.
Banks, Kinzinger. Here's Chase Walker, had a couple moves early on that were very, very pretty. Out to Ty Pence. Pence inside. Goaltending, I believe, is going to be the call. Yes, it is. Give Pence 2 points.
Pence has really been able to carve through the Blue Hoses' zone defense.
5 now for Ty in a 3-point game. 21-18 as Mincy brings it up the court. Corey, a 6'2" guard, just a sophomore from East Point, Georgia. Peterson to Kobe Stewart. That shot off, boarded by Jack Doherty. Kinzinger whips the pass to Banks. Over to the corner, Pence. Short from his angle. Here's Iverson King going 1-on-2. Throws it up, no good. Walker's got a save. Signaling for a timeout, he didn't get it. Either he didn't get it or he might have already stepped out of bounds by the time he jumped in the air.
That was a great push, though, by King. Unable, though, to complete the transition.
.605 remaining here, first half. Kobe Stewart. Augusta, Georgia native. Hands to Harvey. Jamari from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's a senior, goes 6'5", 175. He misses. And so Illinois State will get the ball back up by 3. And some substitutions. Caudier Petaway back into the ball game. He's number 11.
Blue Hose now showing their full court man-to-man press. Looking to disrupt some of the flow so far that the Redbirds have had early on in this first half.
There's Dalton Banks. Here's Kinzinger in front of us. Chase Walker, top of the key. Back to Banks. Ty Pence are looking to go to work on Jamari Harvey. Pence just does that. Give Thate 7 points now.
Again, he has a mismatch so far on anyone guarding him, and he's been able to capitalize.
That a team high for Illinois State. Put back dunk for Peterson. Jalen was not coming down with that basketball unless it was going through the net.
Talk about a mismatch. He was able to soar. If you don't block him out, he's throwing it down.
Big basket. Illinois State had run off several straight points, taking a 5-point lead. It's back to 23-20. Walker, more nice moves. Great footwork, excuse me.
And that is carving. He started at the top of the key. He backed him down, Peterson, all the way down to the paint. Couple up and unders, able to finish.
8 points early for the Columbus, Ohio native, St. Charles Prep High School. A sophomore who goes 6'9", Jennifer mentioned, pushing 400 pounds at one point. He's now at 275. Defense there. Good on Peterson. Not able to get the bucket. Here's Banks. Under 4:15 we go.
And more on Chase Walker. He just declared that he'll be coming back next year. Apparently had an opportunity to make some money everywhere else, and he decided to stay.
Beautiful bounce pass underneath the Dalton Banks. And it's a 7-point advantage with under 4 minutes to go here in the first 20 minutes of action. Claudier Petaway into the lane. Off the glass, easy two once he got those 2 steps to go.
Lack of rotation by the Redbirds calls for an easy layup by the Blue Hose.
Banks out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. To Kinzinger. Screen from Walker. 3-pointer, he'll take it. Why not the way his afternoon's gone? Short. And then a foul. I think they're going to go Walker. He kind of caught himself in no man's land there. Saw King coming at him. Thought, I can't really get out of the way at this point. Don't have enough time. And so the whistle on Chase Walker.
And that's the no man's land that you want to be as a post player at the 3-point line, going for a rebound, but then deciding to retreat.
Back after this from right. Several minutes have passed. Yeah.
It's quite the time. But there hasn't been a timeout since, so.
That's true.
That makes sense.
That's true. So the score remains 27-22 because a called goaltending on Presbyterian stands. It was called correctly. My apologies for confusing all of you, as I'm sure, as I confused Jennifer, because I give way too many options and I overtalk a lot of times. Miss. Here's Thate Pence with the board. And Kinzinger now bringing it up the court. Under 3 minutes to go in the 4th and final game on day 1. First round action from the Purple College Basketball Invitational. They swing around. Thate Pence on the block. Top of the key, Jack Doherty drains the 3.
And that's the work that Pence has done prior possessions as he's really hurt them. All heads turn towards Pence, and he's able to find a wide open Doherty, able to knock it down from the top of the key.
Doherty's got 5, and this the biggest lead of the afternoon for Illinois State at 8. Mincy nearly lost it. His whip went between his legs. Checked by Poindexter. Shot no, but free throws coming for Mincy. Corey averaging nearly 15 points per game. He's second on this squad. Only Kobe Stewart at 15.3 scores more. Caleb Scott gives him 9.1 per contest, while Jamari Harvey averages 7.5. First free throw, good for Mincy.
And Mincy does just a great job of using his quick first step to get past his defender and really drive into his body before laying it up.
That also his first free throw of the ball game. Now 2 for 2, 4 points for the contest. 30-24, nearing 2 minutes to go here in the first half between Illinois State and Presbyterian.
They're running that same action.
Doherty again, almost the replay. Doesn't go in though. Back the other way, left-handed dribble. Parrish to third.
Well, that's really tough. When you don't pick up Parrish until the free throw line, and he got a full head of steam, it's going to be tough to stop him.
And that 8-point lead cut in half, and a chance to cut it even more, although Poindexter retains out of the loose ball. Kinzinger letting it fly. No. Rebound Pence, but whistles. It's going to be on Ty Pence.
Pence running through Buhos to get that offensive rebound.
And so a game of runs continues here because the Blue Hose have a chance to make this a 2-point game. Jordan Davis set the check back in. He does. In for Doherty. Mincy set to come back the other way for the Blue Hose. Stewart. They swing it over. This is Tristan Wilson. Now it's Caleb Scott. Palming it with one hand, makes his move. Scoop, good.
Scott with an old school post move. Palms the ball, acts like he's passing and is able to go into a right-handed baby hook.
His first points of the game and then a steal the other way. Whistles. And Presbyterian now with a chance to tie. Down by just 2. They're getting it back with 55 seconds to go. Before the intermission, that is.
Parrish the third, putting pressure on ball. Able to now head to the free throw, or not free throw line, out of bounds.
Mincy in front of us. Watched by Poindexter.
They're going for
Inside.
their same action again. Back to Scott on the block.
And again, right-handed dribble. Ty Pence came over to help. Inside, and we're tied thanks to Tristan Wilson. Toilet bowl action on that ball going down the rim. It's 30-30 with 30 seconds and counting remaining in the first half.
And for the Blue Hose, if it's not broke, don't fix it. All roads lead through Scott right now on the offensive end.
Johnny Kinzinger. Shot clock about a 1-second difference with that in the game clock. Ty Pence, top of the key, down low, pretty feed, inside. Give Bozer the 2 and an and 1 opportunity.
Great execution by the Redbirds, starting off Pence at the top of the key, and action there. Screen, roll, finish.
It's Cade's first bucket of the afternoon, a chance now to give the Redbirds a 3-point lead. Wisconsin, same hometown as Dalton Banks. Best friends growing up, but interesting, they never played on the same team, at least in an organized capacity. They were never on the same squad until they both came to Illinois State. 3 seconds to go, 2 seconds, 1. He's got to put it up, and I don't think he did. Officials say no. And so with that, we go to the locker room. Illinois State, a 33-30 lead on Presbyterian. Along with Johnny Kinzinger, leads Illinois State in scoring for the season at 14.8. Also gets 6 rebounds per game and a couple of assists per contest. This afternoon, he's been fantastic. The post moves down low and beating Presbyterian in a couple of different ways. Right hand, going to his left hand, and then defensively, drawing offensive fouls on Caleb Scott down low, and Chase Walker, a big reason. Look at that lefty finish. A big reason why Illinois State is up by 3 here at the intermission. This afternoon, Walker Tyrion in the Purple College Basketball Invitational, a 33-30 lead for the Redbirds. 15 of 27 from the field they are, as compared to Presbyterian, who's 13 of 29. 3-point field goals. Illinois State's just hit the one. Hasn't mattered, though, in a 3-point game. 2 of 7 for Presbyterian. Free throws, neither team has taken a lot of them. 2 of 3 for Illinois State, 2 of 2 for Presbyterian. Turnovers pretty even, 7-6. Rebounds pretty even as well, with Illinois State holding a 2-board advantage there. And Jennifer, when you look at these first 20 minutes, anything pop out at you in terms of just things you've noticed in terms of the way the game is shaken out to this point?
Well, not anything based off of the numbers, but the momentum that Presbyterian really ended the first half with, and seeing if Illinois State makes adjustments, and for Presbyterian them as well. Again, the biggest thing I remember is Scott. Scott was a huge factor for them. On the other side for the Redbirds, you had Pence, who really, just really efficient, 3 for 4 from the field. He did some things that were not going to show up on the stat sheet.
She is the former star at Florida, Jennifer Jordan.
Is starting from inside out. Really, Parrish III and Scott were the catalyst for their comeback.
Talked about how Presbyterian is located out of South Carolina, Illinois State, out of the town of Normal, Illinois. Kinzinger, nothing normal about that. Fantastic effort to get into the lane, get it up off the glass in the first 2 to make it a 35-30 game.
And Kinzinger somewhat had a slower first half, so looking for a little bit more of a louder second half from him. Matching
what he did in those first 20 minutes with that bucket there. He's got 4 for the contest. How about Chase Walker picking up where he left off in the first half? Great defensive play, able to knock it away. Here he's on the offensive end. Stops. Out to Jack Doherty. They'll swing it. Banks to Walker. Walker now looking to make a move. Muscling his way inside. Up and in.
Walker impacting on both sides of the floor.
Double figures for Walker. He's in 10. First player in the double digits in this ball game. And the lead back to 7. Biggest it's been for Illinois State, or for either team for that matter, is 8. On the baseline, Jamari Harvey. No. Walker, I think they're going to get Chase for the foul. Let's see. Walker's got the reaction. Yep. That's 3 on Chase.
And that's going to be big for the Redbirds if he has to go to the bench.
Yeah, I think Ryan Peden realizing that now, that he's got Walker with 3, and sure enough, Caden Bozer about to check in. Caden, a 6'8" forward, his 5th year here with, as a student. A transfer out of Valdosta State. As Walker exits with his 3 fouls. (37-31) after the first Harvey free throw. Knocks down the second. It's a 5-point game. Jordan Davis from Banks, back to Banks. 3-pointer in the corner, Doherty. No. Davis had it for a moment. And they're going to get the Redbirds for a foul. Bozer saying, no, that shouldn't be on me. The officials, though, disagreeing.
And that's always tough when the official further away from the play makes a call over the ref that was right in front. But a foul is a foul.
Mike Nardone, Josh Bradwell, and David Powell are 3 officials for this ball game. Corey Mincy, watched by Banks. Between his legs, he's looking down low for Caleb Scott. There's Scott beyond the block, now working his way down to it. Turns, working on Bozer. Scott off the glass, pretty. It's a 3-point game.
Scott does a good job of creating contact and then being so quick to get off the ground and explode above his defender.
4 for Caleb. Here's Kinzinger looking for his 3rd and 4th points of the second half. Doesn't get him. Other ends. Jamari Harvey, turnover. Back comes Banks. Dalton to the corner. Jordan Davis for 3. Money.
And that was a great swing for the Redbirds. Getting the turnover and a 3-pointer in the corner pocket.
Doubling the lead at that. Goes from a 3-point advantage to 40-34. Mincy looking for Harvey coming off the screen. Catch and shoot, no. Bozier clears, hands to his very good friend, maybe best friend, Dalton Banks. Banks, Kinzinger on that right wing over to Davis. Here's Bozier. Doherty, top of the key. Other wing, it's Banks. Down low, receiving again on the give and go from Bozier.
Mincy not getting away with a push down low against a cutting Banks.
That's Mincy's second foul and a hockey style change here for Presbyterian. 4 new players into the ball game. Jalen Peterson, one of them. Kaudir Petaway, another. Kobe Stewart was already in the ball game. Tristan Wilson now in. And Carl Parrish III. All of them saw action in the first half, and all of them back in with 16:57 to go in the second half. Banks watched by Petaway. Kinzinger working off screens. Bozier will let it fly off the pass, and he'll knock it down.
That was a pretty shot by Bozier in rhythm.
Kane with his first three-pointer of the afternoon. He's got 6 in only 8 minutes of action. Jalen Peterson, top of the key. There's Petaway, lets it fly, no. Cleared by Doherty. Here comes Kinzinger. Screen from Bozier. Kinzinger double teams. Down low, Banks. Back out Davis. Back to Banks. Top of the key, he hands to Bozier. Banks now with it, in the lane, throws it up. Wanted to make sure that Jalen Peterson didn't get a piece of it, but rushed it a bit, and high off the glass. Turnaround, Kobe Stewart passed it out, got it back, or did he? Turnover.
Great hustle play by Banks.
Kinzinger, Banks, Davis in the corner. Jordan knocks down another three-pointer. Twin brother of NBA player Johnny Davis now has 6, and it's a 46-34 12-point lead as the Redbirds have opened up their biggest advantage of the ball game.
And it all started with Banks with the effort play on defense, leading to an open Davis in the corner, knocking down the 3.
15:33 to go, a 12. Some work to do for Presbyterian. They're down by 12 with 15:32 and running here in the second half of the 2025 Purple CBI. Illinois State 46-34 lead. Petaway stops his dribble, back out. Kobe Stewart, shot clock's at 4. 3. Petaway's got to put it up. He does. And he got a whistle. They're going to get Jordan Davis with the foul.
Petaway heady play, knowing time and score, and is able to get into the basket before the end of the shot clock.
And now a mandatory media timeout as Petaway will go to the line when we come back. 15:07 remaining. The Blue Hose looking to get back in this thing. They got free throws coming up. Well, Presbyterian looking to avoid the fate it faced last year here in the CBI. This, the Blue Hose' second straight appearance here in Daytona. In last year's round 1, they lost to Montana 82-79. Right now, they trail Illinois State 46-34 with 15:07 to go, although Petaway makes that a 46-36 ball game. Kadir's got one more free throw coming. He's now got 8 for the afternoon, make it 9. And the lead exactly 10.
And now back to that full court press by the Blue Hose.
Trying to see maybe they can speed up the game. Still plenty of time left, but at the same time, At some point, you've got to make a dent. Inside Banks, pretty. Everything but the ball to go in. Rolled off for Dalton Banks, and then he draws the offensive foul on the other end.
And that's the great part about Banks is that he gets back and makes plays off of other situations. So on that one, again, falls down, but there's a foul called and headed back the other way.
6'2", graduate student, transferred from Southern Illinois, Dalton Banks. He's got the ball now. Big part of what the Redbirds do, as mentioned, right there among the top scoring leaders on the team. And as he makes his way down in a putback, the person handling the mop had to make his way up the floor. He's like, hold on a second. There's a follow. Are they going to say it didn't count? I think they're saying there was a foul on the initial shot, right? I didn't hear a whistle.
There was a whistle. Again, you can see that Doherty swipes down. But that might be one of the, situations that you fear as a person that mops up the floor is quick transition of a play, and there's full steam coming at you, a Division I basketball player.
Kobe Stewart knocking on the free throw. When you looked at the replay right there, you could see the official clearly putting the arm up as is to call the foul. I just didn't hear the whistle, so I thought the putback counted. 4 straight points for Presbyterian out of that most recent timeout, so it's now an 8-point game. Dalton Banks, the inbound pass from Kinzinger. Banks in some trouble. Corey Mincy with some hounding defense. Banks gets it across the timeline. Trying to get it to Bozer, turns it over. Back the other way, Mincy. Good pass, Parrish to third.
You could see the writing on the wall for the Redbirds on that play. Hard-nosed defense the entire way up. Miscommunication, and then on the other side, a foul now called on Davis.
So for Davis, that's his second. Ty Pence set the check back in. He's in for Jack Doherty. Corey Mincy will inbound. Looking to shoot off the pass is Kobe Stewart. Instead, lays it up with the left hand. It rolls off. Illinois State basketball. Johnny Kinzinger will inbound. He's been relatively quiet in terms of scoring, averages 15 per game for these Redbirds. He's number 11. 4 points so far for Kinzinger. Only taken 5 shots.
You could tell the Blue Hose have really increased their defensive intensity.
Banks the inbound pass from Davis. Ty Pence sets the screen. Now has the ball at top of the key. There's Bozer. Left-handed dribble. Nice feed underneath. Banks coming around.
Heady play by Bozer, who's able to notice that they're sending two, and Banks, smart play, cuts to the basket.
The lead back to double digits at 48-38. Mincy. Left-handed dribble. Now between his legs. Couple of screens from Peterson. Lets it go, no. Davis with the board. Here's Kinzinger. Up ahead, Banks looking to go into the lane. Kinzinger, he'll let it fly. And he's got his first three-point make of the afternoon. 0 for 2 previously, but Kinzinger now with 7.
And that was just a great job by Banks. Getting into the paint with the dribble, kicking it back out, and getting Kinzinger back on the three-point land as Kinzinger almost comes up with a steal.
He got the block, and then he got fouled. And this now the biggest lead of the ball game for Illinois State at 13. Shirts on the bench there, the warm-up shirts for Illinois State say nothing easy. Well, that's been the case for Presbyterian as well in this ball game. Nothing has come easy for them. Went back and forth in the early going, but since late in the first half, Illinois State has established control. Pence to Davis. Davis in that corner. There's Bozer. Banks top of the key. Swings. Pence. Backing down Kobe Stewart. Pence still in the lane. Jump stop. Fouled. Hit in the face. They're going to get Stewart.
Now just a great ISO move by Pence. Taking his time. Able to get to the spot where he wanted to, middle of the paint, and rise above, get that head to the free throw line.
Pence had 7 in the first half. 3 of 4 from the field. At the line, he's 1 of 2. Make it 2 of 3. Malachi Poindexter in to give Dalton Banks a breather for Illinois State. For Presbyterian, Kadar Petaway is in, as is Jamari Harvey. Tristan Wilson.
And both
Kadir Petaway, I was going to say, also helping round out their top 5 along with Corey Mincy. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Well, both teams without their premier bigs, Scott and Walker, for 2 different reasons. Walker with fouls, and Scott having a tougher night.
Here's Bozer for 3, back rim. Tristan Wilson comes out with it. In the lane, blocking foul.
They're calling the block and the shot continuation.
That the second foul on Kinzinger. So free throws for the Blue Hose when we come back. 11:51 remaining, a 15-point lead for Illinois State. Purple College Basketball Invitation. The Redbirds from Illinois State enjoying their largest lead of the ball game, 53-40, with 11:51 to go in the second half. Here at the Purple College Basketball Invitational, now for Illinois State, would be a game that would continue what's been a good season for them. They went 19-14. Now in the Missouri Valley Conference, they were 10-10. At home, they were 12-4. Away, 5-7. In neutral site games like this one, they were 2-3. First free throw for Tristan Wilson is good.
And that will complete the and one play.
Correct, which completes the, which completes the 3-point opportunity. So it's now a 12-point ball game. Kinzinger. Here's Poindexter. Chase Walker back into the ball game. He's number 35. Did he take steps?
No, they called an offensive foul on Kinzinger.
2 quick ones. That's 2 quick ones on Kinzinger. He's got 3. He had 1 foul 15 seconds of game time ago. He's now got 3. And because of that, Dalton Banks set to come back in. And for Johnny Kinzinger. Petaway with the dribble. It's Jalen Peterson. Corey Mincy. There's Scott. He's also back into the ball game. So the battle of the big men down low continues. Scott's shot, though, rolls off. Chase Walker able to corral and then get to Dalton Banks. Banks uses a screen from Walker. Ty Pence, did he step out of bounds? He did.
That's been a few unfortunate plays for the Redbirds. Unfortunate turnovers, offensive foul previously, and now stepping out of bounds. Unforced turnovers.
Called Deer Petaway, watched by Malachi Poindexter. Here's Mincy, watched by Banks. Jamari Harvey, and now the whistles beginning to come out. They're going to get Malachi Poindexter.
And now where they are, everything's going to be 1-1.
Yep, the Blue Hose into the bonus. Jordan Davis goes to the bench. Petaway's 10 points lead Presbyterian today. Misfires on the free throw, so here's Banks. Screen from Pence. Back to Ty. It's Poindexter, they're on the wing. Here's Walker. They clear the lane for Chase. Let him go to work. Backing down Scott. Air ball.
That's good defense by Scott, holding his ground.
Mincy keeping that left-handed dribble alive over Chase Walker.
Mincy is just so tough to stop when he gets to that 15-foot range. He can rise above almost anybody.
Here's Walker again. Top of the key. Wolf lost it as he was trying to go inside. Walker in there looking for that loose ball. Gets it on the pass from Wolf and now secures it. Shot clock's at 5, 4, 3. Banks has got to put it up, and he does. Step back 3. Back rim. Another opportunity. Grabs the rebound off the loose ball. Poindexter over to Pence. Inside to Walker. Beautiful up fake. Foul on Peterson. Chase is going to the free throw line.
Sure, if he could have that one over again, he would. He would have used the backboard on that.
So while Presbyterian's in the bonus, Illinois State not quite there yet. Walker a chance here at his 11th and 12th points. His 10 are tied with Dalton Banks for the team lead.
And Walker, having to sit majority of the second half, is now able to come on the floor and make an impact.
Saddled with those 3 fouls. Wolf exits, Jordan Davis back in. And while he was out, Caden Bozier giving the Redbirds some valuable minutes, but Walker back out there now. Hits a second free throw, back to a 12-point game. 2 for 2, and his 12 points are a game high. For Presbyterian, Petaway also has 10, as does Dalton Banks. Mincy, fancy dribbling. Watched by Banks. Banks trying to fight through that screen. Mincy gets just enough of an opening, lets it fly. Whistle, loose ball underneath the court. It's going to be on the Redbirds. They're getting Ty Pence, it looks like. Nope, Dalton Banks is who the foul is on. That's his first.
It looks like they're having to speak to Mincy now, the refs.
Well, that young man who's handled mop duty today has been awfully busy, including a play in which he had to run for his life, make sure that he wasn't run into.
Hector,
Caleb Scott short. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Hector, that's why you got to train for life. You can't wait for the moment. The moment's coming.
Mincy, speaking of moments coming, knocking down to 3. He's got 9. And may be the kind of shot that gets Presbyterian going. They would only hope. The deficit on their end is 9. Well, Stewart whistled for his second foul. Mincy's 3 moments ago gave him 9 for the game. Walker top of the key. Here's Jordan Davis. Walker gets it back inside, battling, trying to establish that footwork. Puts it up and in over 2 Presbyterian defenders. Jalen Peterson came over to help with Caleb Scott.
That was just a great job. Patience there by Walker. On the other side, Mincy again. Davis thinking he had a clean block.
Yeah.
Got caught by the ref.
Yeah, Davis didn't like that one bit. And that's his 3rd. So interesting here because you've got 8:20 to go.
And you can see on the replay, he got the arm as well.
Caden Scott a chance for points 5 and 6 here. There's 5. More importantly, it makes it a 10-point game. The Redbirds have done a nice job since extending this to about 13, 12. They've lived in that area for the last several minutes. For the better part of the second half, this has been a double-digit affair. Scott delivers on his second free throw. 9-point lead for Illinois State. Ty Pence will bring it up. Going on Peterson all the way to the cup and gets it to go.
Full head of steam for Pence, making it look easy.
Ty into double figures with 11. He's hit 4 of the 5 shots he's taken. Kobe Stewart. Losing it is Caleb Scott as they were trying to connect Poindexter to Dalton Banks. Under 8 we go. Under 7:50 actually. Here's Ty Pence. Davis.
They're trying to get into Walker.
Yeah. On the wing, it's Banks who's going to take it into the lane himself, and he traveled. Lost his footing. Breaking the action. Illinois State up by 11. Time starting to become an issue for Presbyterian. We're back after this from the with this ball game today, 3 more games tomorrow. Earlier today, UIW a 92-85 winner on Manhattan. Army knocking off Elon 83-78. Queens beat Northern Arizona 85-78, meaning UIW gets Jacksonville tomorrow at noon. Army gets FGCU tomorrow at 2. Queens draws Cleveland State tomorrow at 4. All 3 of those games also right here on Flow Sports. Jalen Peterson inbounds to Corey Mincy. Their Blue Hose down by 11 with now under 7.5 to go. So time beginning to serve it as an issue here if you're Presbyterian. Got to get moving at some point. The deficit's only 11. It's been 13, but still in double figures. And there's 2.
And that's how you do it, by crashing the O boards and getting putbacks.
Knocked away by Presbyterian, so still Illinois State ball. Pence giving chase. He'll inbound. The Blue Hose showing full court press. Now checking in is number 7, Tristan Wilson. Jalen Peterson exits. Here's Johnny Kinzinger. Able to cross court. Corey Mincy watching him closely.
Kinzinger handling the pressure by Mincy.
And then Mincy knocks it away. Here's Stewart, open court. Gets a lefty layup to go. So 4 quick points. That's exactly what Presbyterian needed. And it's a 7-point game now with 6:45 and counting.
Way to speak too soon for me with Mincy and Kinzinger.
No. But he got past him. It's just that Mincy was able to poke it away from behind once Kinzinger was in the lane. Speaking of those two continuing to go at it, here's Walker in the lane. Looking for Pence, streaking on the sideline. Instead, Walker puts it up and in, and that's been a good idea more often than not. 16 points now for Chase Walker.
And Walker has been the king of just taking his time in the paint and being able to finish.
Stewart. That's Mincy. Stewart with 10. One of 2 Blue Hose players in double figures. Petaway the other with 10. Inside, it's Corey Mincy. Mincy now in the double digits with 11. More importantly, this game back to a 7-point difference. 5:45 and counting. Whistle, they're going to get Jamari Harvey. That's the first foul on Harvey, Jennifer.
And that's just good defense, or better offense to an aggressive defense.
Poindexter looking for his first point. Only taking the 1 shot. His role on this team is much more defense and energy. There he is, knocks down his first free throw attempt of the afternoon. Another one coming for Poindexter, whose team is up by 8. Make it 9. 63-54 in favor of Illinois State. Dalton Banks back into the game.
And the longest tenure Redbirds heads to the bench. Again, that's only 3 years nowadays.
Nowadays, that an eternity though, huh?
Yes, it is.
Screened by Scott. Mincy goes the other way. Stops and pops, no. Walker clears. Chase with 7 rebounds to go with his 16 points. Also has an assist. Banks, Kinzinger. Now Walker top of the key. Other wing, it's Davis. Banks top of the key. Kinzinger here on the left. Working on Kobe Stewart. Dangerous pass. Makes its way to Kinzinger. That was Ty Pence who had it. Kinzinger stops and pops, has to let it go. It's not going to count. Just a fraction late, but it was late.
They are going to look at it.
They're going to review this.
I'm going to say that was good.
Really?
From this vantage point.
See, in real time, to me, it looked like it was just a fraction late. Let's see, though. My first thought before I even heard the whistle, which indicated not going to count, was that it wasn't going to count. So what they're looking at is the call is that it did not count. That's what the call is.
Correct. They called
that it was after the shot clock buzzer. What we'll see is if they change their minds, then if it does count. Nope, they're saying it did not count.
That was kind of quick for a no basket, Hector.
Yeah. I think they probably saw what I got a sense that I saw in real time. Mike Nardone, Josh Broadwell, and David Powell, the 3 officials for this ball game. Still a 9-point game because the basket did not count. Wilson. Up top, Kobe Stewart. Stewart now on the other side off his knee. Picked up by Mincy. Harvey, a 3-pointer, short. That would have been big. Would have made this a 6-point game. Instead, it's Dalton Banks handling for Illinois State, up by 9.
And the Redbirds can take their time, really set up their offense.
Chase Walker muscling his way down, and basically Caleb Scott just throwing his body at him. It doesn't matter. Chase Walker with 18 points this afternoon.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Between his legs and a nice move from Mincy.
The only response is with Mincy hitting another sweet spot 15-footer.
Corey's got 13, and it's back to a 9-point game. But Presbyterian cannot afford to trade buckets here. Again, it's Chase. Kinzinger drains the wide open 3. He'll do that more often than not. Back to a 12-point game.
Great job by Walker, feeling the double and finding a wide open Kinzinger at the top of the key.
Kinzinger, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, 4 of 7 in terms of field goals this afternoon. Mincy got himself caught in the air, but able to find Tristan Wilson down the baseline. Here's Harvey on the other end. Harvey fouled. He's got 2 free throws coming. And he'll take them after a timeout. 3:25 to go. Illinois State, a 12-point lead on Presbyterian College. The Illinois State Redbirds closing in on a first-round victory here at the Purple College Basketball Invitational. They lead Presbyterian 68-56 with 3:25 to go. One of Jennifer Georgia's players to watch was Johnny Kinzinger. He's turned out to be an impact player indeed in this ball game. Very effective, 10 points, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, 4 of 7 from the field.
And this sophomore really knows how to light it up from behind the arc, but he's done it on the defensive end as well. He's really done everything to help the Redbirds really get through. And looks like, I mean, they've increased their total here and increased their lead. And Kinzinger really has helped them, and he gets a little bit of a breather now. Lets his other sophomore partner, Walker. So if Davis and Banks are best friends, does that mean the sophomore duo of Walker and Kinzinger are best friends too?
Well, maybe they can be. It's Bozer and Banks are actually the ones who were very, very close. Yes, because they're both from the same town in Wisconsin, Eau Claire.
Well, I'm
Harvey.
just putting it out there in the universe that
I'm sure they're all very, very good friends. All of them are very, very good.
But best friends, Hector?
Maybe even best friends, perhaps. You know, it's interesting you talk about the lead and how it's still at 12. It seems like every time Presbyterian's made a push, Illinois State has pushed it back to 12 or 13. It stands at 11 right now. Here's tight pants. So it's gone both ways because every time Illinois State's kind of maybe threatened to make this a 15, 17, 19 and get it up into the 20s, Presbyterians resisted. But every time the Blue Hose have made a run to get it to within 8 or 9, Illinois State has answered, and there's Ty Pence, speaking of, with another answer, make it a 13-point game once again.
Well, he made 2 key plays in that possession. One, he was able to pull it out and run more clock for the Redbirds, and then secondly, he was able to see that he's not just a passer, he could take it to the bucket as well. But on the other side, Mincy able to, again, get to his spots and be able to rise above and finish.
Mincy's now got 15. That easily leads the Blue Hose in scoring. Stewart's got 10. Pettaway's got 10. Leading scorer for Illinois State just had the ball moments ago. Chase Walker, he's got 18. Here's Poindexter back in. Dalton Banks, cross court. Ty Pence, jumper fading away, gets it to go. Another bucket for Pence. He's now got 15 of his own. Lead is 13. Trend continues that we mentioned just moments ago. Turnaround is good for Kobe Stewart, and a timeout taken by Presbyterian, trying to draw this game out and slow it up whenever they can. Head coach Quentin Farrell taking the timeout. 2:04 remaining. It's an 11-point game. The Blue Hose have battled seemingly every step of the way, but they have not been able to really close this gap and need it to where they get to really make things interesting. I think they got to within 7 at maybe around the 6-minute mark. But even when they did that, Illinois State able to grow the lead, and right now it stands at 11 with exactly 2:04 on the clock.
And for the Redbirds, they continue what they're doing, feeding the big man Walker and then running their offense through him.
No surprise that the Redbirds have shot the three as well as they have. Their 330 three-pointers this season is a new school single-season record. It broke the previous record of 301 set back in 2017-2018. So they not only broke that record, they shattered it. It was 301, it's now 330, and it was 330 heading in to this game. Poindexter, they beat the press. Davis, no rush, back to Poindexter, back to Dalton Banks. Ty Pence and Chase Walker on the court, filling out that 5 for Illinois State. Davis, Banks thought about it. Shot clock's at 7, so Banks goes inside. Finds Walker underneath. Shot clock at 2. Walker's got to let it go. I don't know if he did. Yes, he did, because he got fouled.
That was a race against the clock for his movement. Walker likes to take his time, but he only had 3 seconds.
A chance at his 19th and 20th points. He's hit the only 2 free throws he's taken.
Well, it looks like they're putting it under review.
Well, what's interesting is I think at the same time, here comes the officials.
They're checking to see if the shot clock violation occurred before the foul.
I'm gonna call it again. In real time, it looked like he was a little bit late.
I'm gonna go the opposite way again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say he got it off and he got fouled.
So we'll see what the officials decide here. But you hit it right on the head when you mentioned he's at his best when he's backing folks down and using that footwork, right? As he's doing his thing, and I'm seeing the shot clock go 3, 2, I'm thinking he's not going to get this off. Now, he made it close, and he may well have beat the clock. I don't know if he did, though. And so
his movements are not meant for shooting down 3 seconds left. Like, you don't give it to Walker. Walker's going to take his 10 seconds to do his move, and it works for him. But the shot clock was going down, and that, you know. And honestly, if we go back to that, Banks had a wide-open three-pointer, and he decided to take it into the paint where the trees were and then dish it off.
I think maybe Dalton Banks is a heady player. I'm wondering if that was a situation where he maybe overthought because he's thinking in the moment, and this is, again, me just presuming and projecting, right? I'm wondering if he's thinking, let me take more time off the clock by continuing to dribble. Now, you don't want to go into the trees in doing that, but I'm wondering if that's what he was thinking. If I don't take the 3 now, I take more time off the clock by going into the lane. And then it ended up with what we saw. And Jennifer is correct on this one. He did get it off in time, and so 2 free throws coming for Chase Walker.
We are 1 for 1. 1 for 1.
We're 1 for 1.
Hector, I don't know why you're pumping. I'm the one, and you're the one that didn't get it right. I'm
happy.
Celebrate.
I'm happy for your success.
You know what?
I'm pumping my fist because I'm happy for your success.
That is really that's big of you. I couldn't be that person, but that's why we're a team.
Chase Walker hitting the first of 2 free throws. Chase now with 19, so he's a point away from reaching 20. 8 rebounds as well. Give him a couple of assists, and Chase Walker helping fill up the stat sheet. And there's his 20 points. First player to 20 in this ball game. The clock, meanwhile, under a minute and a half. It's a 13-point game. Stewart and the Blue Hose need something to happen quickly. Into the lane. Well, this is the way you do it, and one opportunity.
Asking you shall receive an opportunity to bring it down to 10 points.
So Mincy now with 14, and a free throw here would match Mincy's 15 for team high. Stewart has hit the only 2 free throws he's taken thus far. Make it 3 for 3, and it's a 10-point game. 121. That's the issue for Presbyterian. Banks inbounds, right back to Type Pence. Poindexter up the court, brings it back out, and here's Banks. Here's Banks being watched by Corey Mincy. Shot clock under 10. Davis, as we go under a minute on the game clock. Pence on the block, working on Tristan Wilson. Pence elevates, short. Rebound by Chase Walker.
Big time rebound by Walker.
Fitty.
And now it's foul time.
As big as he's been, that is 9th rebound of the game. Fitting that he would get the board that probably puts the icing on the cake. Banks fouled. And a look now at our player of the game. It is Chase Walker. 20 points, 9 rebounds. Did it all in 26 minutes. 2 assists, 8 of 11 from the field. 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He felt so good that he even took a 3-pointer.
He was able to impact the game on all facets, on defense, offense. And again, despite the foul trouble, he was still able, with limited minutes, able to make a difference. And Mincy, though, still saying not over yet.
Yeah, I think Mincy took offense to what I said a little while ago about potentially that being the icing on the cake with Walker's rebounds, although here's Davis. 2 for Jordan Davis. Back to a 10-point game. 9-point game, I should say. Presbyterians hit some buckets the last couple of times down the court. They're not getting very many stops. Another bucket, though, for Corey Mincy. Refusing to go away are the Blue Hose. It's a 6-point game with 16.4 to go. So mentioning moments ago how Chase Walker is the player of the game for Illinois State different ways, Jennifer. I mean, inside he was just a bear, just too much for Presbyterian to handle, doing it from the right block, the left block, that footwork giving him different angles, putting it up in different ways, lefty hook, righty hook, just scoring in a number of different ways from down in the paint.
And he even took to charge. His ability just to take his time and really also be a passer at the end of it too, blocking shots, really pivoting and not traveling, taking bumps, and knowing that he's not going to get the foul called because he is the bigger guy, and he's still able to finish and take it in stride. He did everything today, and for that, they're up by 6 points. Hopefully that's enough, but we're going to see if it's anything up to Mincy. It's going to be a dogfight, and like to mention that Presbyterian went down to overtime to Radford in their conference tournament, so they came in regulation and tried to push it to the limit to overtime.
Yeah, and Chase Walker doing a lot of his damage with foul trouble. He picked up 3 early in the second half, had to go out, so he missed a good amount of time, but when he was in there in those 27 minutes, more than making up for it with 20 points and 9 rebounds on 8 of 11 shooting from down there. 6-point lead for Illinois State. They've got the ball. Inbounds. They get it to Ty Pence. Ty in trouble. Did the Redbirds call a timeout, or is that a foul on Presbyterian? Okay, foul. It didn't look in real time like Presbyterian was really reaching and trying to hack, but they did get the foul, and that's essentially what they want. They need to stop the clock. If you can't get the turnover, you got to foul. That's how this played out. So 14.5 remains.
And Davis is at the table, set to check in.
Pence now 4 of 5 from the free throw line.
And smartly takes out Walker, who has his 3 fouls.
Davis in the ball game along with Poindexter, Banks, Kinzinger, and Pence. Those the 5 for Illinois State. Kobe Stewart, Jameer Harvey, the man with the ball, Corey Mincy, Jalen Peterson, and Tristan Wilson, the 5 for Presbyterian. That almost went for Mincy. Off the backboard and then rolled off the rim. 1-0 ball game. Illinois State wraps day 1 of the Purple College Basketball Invitational with a 78-70 victory over Presbyterian on an afternoon that saw several Redbird players play very well, including, as mentioned, Chase Walker with 20. Banks adds 10. Kinzinger with 10 of his own. Corey Mincing pacing Presbyterian with 21. Final thoughts, Jennifer.
Final thoughts from this game. Chase Walker really showing all of us a clinic on how to be a post player in the paint. And then overall, ending thoughts. Great first day of action here at the College Basketball Invitational by Purple. And just excited for tomorrow's matchups.
Well, speaking of, fantastic transition there, Jennifer, because we're back for 3 more games tomorrow. Again, our first one is at noon, UIW Jacksonville, followed by Army and FGCU, and then Queens and Cleveland State to finish things off in day 2, the quarterfinals of the Purple College Basketball Invitational. For Jennifer George and all the great folks who had a